help our nation address the illness industrial complex that holds our health hostage. One way is to turbocharge the National Institutes of Health. I work in academic medicine. I understand the importance of the NIH, which is the main government agency that funds medical research. Now, one of RFK Jr.'s proposals is to devote half of the NIH research budget towards preventive, alternative, and holistic approaches to health.
Holistic approaches. Not all this manufacturer stuff, not all these drugs they just want to make in the lab. Holistic, more, hey, your ass kind of fat, you need to go work out. Hey, you need to lift these weights to, slow down aging. Hey, you need to, you need to jog more, get your heart rate up more. Hey, you need to be trying to have a little bit more sex, make you feel good. It's better. It's gonna feel better than these placebo or these sugar pills I'm gonna give you. Go on in there and slang that Peter whacker a little bit. It got to have more holistic approaches. Like I said, because we know. It's crazy that you'll get a pill and they say, yeah, it's meant for acid reflux, but then it'll say side effects, horn grow out your head, dick come out your ass, toe come out your eye. Like, it's like, what the hell? Why would I take this? And you got 40 different side effects on here, but I just need to clear. It's acid reflux. I just take the acid reflux if I got to deal with all the other stuff.
The current system does not adequately research the root causes of the chronic illnesses that plague our people. This funding would answer the practical questions that you're asking in your homes, like which diets and exercises actually work best. We should also change federal regulations so that the NIH funds cannot go to researchers with conflicts of interest. Over the past decade, thousands of federally funded health researchers have reported financial conflicts of interest.
That's the biggest one for me. You should not be on this board and be in Congress and you pass stuff to help your company and you pad my pockets under the table. Like, I think those conflicts of interest are a big thing. Same thing that goes to insider trading when it come to Congress. Ain't no way Nancy Pelosi's husband supposed to be the best trader of all time. Baby, you got some information the rest of us don't. If y'all put Martha Stewart in jail, the lady that baked cakes and shit, y'all gonna put her in jail. And Martha stays silent. It's crazy that we got all these videos of these niggas that supposed to be gangsters shooting up each other and they get in interrogation rooms and be snitching like a fool. And then you got Martha Stewart, the lady that baked cakes and stuff like that. She stays silent, didn't snitch on nobody. That crazy.
We need better research, lifestyle advice from unbiased scientists, and RFK Jr. could help.
I think they have a lot of stuff that they're trying to put together, implement. And like I said, it's crazy that it takes somebody to speak up and to get in these positions. And like I said, people pad their pockets and they don't give a fuck about the American.
The nomination of RFK Jr. the chronic.
They don't care about American people whatsoever. And they're okay with poisoning us, doing stuff to our children, saying things and giving us worst case practices, what they always seem to do, especially like COVID. We know that COVID, they gave us the stupidest stuff. Wear a mask for a respiratory virus. Something that's going to restrict my breathing, but you telling me I got to wear a mask. Stay 6 feet apart. Okay, they can stay 6 feet behind me, but they can stay within arm's reach if they're on the side of me. People passing out in cars. You're closing churches. You're closing places where people need some type of refuge. You're closing schools. You're closing beaches. Beaches is a natural healer. Scientifically, if you go to the beach, it's a natural healer. The salt water, all of these different things at beaches, and when you get into the air and stuff, they've already proven it's a natural healer. They told us it didn't come from when Trump said it was the China virus. Oh, he's racist. Oh my God. But the nigga was telling the truth. Now all we see all up and down Twitter and all these social media sites, the Wuhan lab leak. It's crazy that the man said a lot of real stuff and it came to pass. He said, hey, as soon as I get out of office, y'all gas gonna rise exponentially. Sure did. Soon as I get off office, they gonna close this Keystone Pipeline, and this was gonna put America where we needed to be. Soon they got in, they closed the Keystone Pipeline. A whole bunch of men lose $100,000 a year jobs, and then we got our women in here. Yeah, we more educated and make more money than y'all. Well, bitch, you ain't out here trying to work on this oil rig and do all this stuff where I really make more money than you. But now they closing jobs where I got to go home and argue with my bitch now because they didn't close the Keystone Pipeline. I got to find something else to do. So, like I said, I try to say like this. I ain't a Trump stan, but the man said a lot of stuff, and then it came to pass.
We're learning now in the data that it was suburban moms who actually found what Robert F. Kennedy was saying so interesting. We said at the beginning of the program that, look, you can see a guy who is a vaccine conspiracy theorist, vaccine questioner, whatever you want to say, who kills bears.
Hey, y'all make sure y'all like the video, share the video, make sure y'all subscribe to, hit the bell to get all my videos and notifications when I go live. Thank you very much.
Or you can see a guy who's a champion for health. I see you putting your hands up. I'm going to let you answer. How and what is incumbent upon Robert F. Kennedy to not allow that narrative to take hold?
Well, it is incumbent upon everybody to continue to pressure the press. I wonder if he doesn't sue the press for slander, because he's fully vaxxed, his family's fully vaxxed. He has no vaccine denialism. He wants vaccines subjected to the same scientific rigor as all the other medication.
And that makes sense. It should not be a thing where I put in my body and let my health be up to you. And this is why I say Americans are dumb, because we put our lives in so many other people's hands, so much so we just don't even think about the everyday stuff that we do. We ain't talking about the spin-off with the vaccines. And I got to ask you a question. Just think about getting into a car, driving every day. You could be going 100 miles an hour on the freeway and a wheel pop off, an axle break. You just put your faith in a person, in a plant, and people in a plant that hopefully they didn't come to work hard today. Hopefully they knew what they was doing when they put these bolts on there. Hopefully, they cared enough to say, hey, I'm gonna make sure I do it right. And my boss didn't piss me off today to where I just putting it together so they can have wrecks and get sued and stuff like that. We put our faith in so many other people, airplanes. Like we just so gullible, and we just go about our day and our life without asking questions. I knew Americans were dumb when they didn't want to ask more questions. And then I knew it was even dumber because so many people, we had people telling us the same shit when it came to asking questions as the news media. You shouldn't question that. Don't say it is. Don't say that. Nigga, why aren't you? You're not scared. You're not worried. You're just going to go along. You're just going to put the mask on. You're just going to take 27 boosters. Like your vaccine, if you take a vaccine, supposed to make my vaccine work better. Like, are you listening to what's going on?
And people like me are allowed by the FDA to bring to market. So we could use these things. As it is an entirely different operation with no liability to speak of. And there may be really significant problems with these vaccines. At least we should be able to ask the questions. I'm not a vax denier. Everybody's fully vaxxed in my practice. But when I give my patients informed consent, I have to include in that these things have not been tested the way I would be satisfied to really give them a clear understanding.
And another thing is, when they ask them to even just show the data, show the data of what you've got from these tests and these trials. Show the data. Show the actual VAERS. That's what we need to see. How many vaccine injuries is there? And if this so foolproof, then why can't we sue you? If everybody else can be sued, why can't we sue you? This is a real question that somebody got to ask. They believe in the media on TikTok. So many, like I said, they believe a lot of dumb shit. And it's scary that we let a lot of people who believe this get away with believing all of this dumb stuff that we got going on nowadays. So next we're gonna talk about Tucker Carlson. Now Tucker Carlson out here, and he's asking questions that I think most people should ask, and I'm glad that he is. Oh, hold on, no, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna go back to here real quick. This is another video I wanted to play. I forgot about real quick. This HHS. This was a perfect a perfect question that this Scott Jennings guy, he been doing good work. I like that they got him on CNN. It actually makes me watch CNN a little bit more since they got him on there.
If we're being intellectually honest, there's really no good reason why Bobby Kennedy, RFK Jr. should be HHS secretary. An advisor, a confidant, somebody who talks to the president and advises, but there's no managerial experience in his resume. There's nothing that says he is qualified to do this job that is in charge of the health of all of us, all these different lanes. If he has views and has insights around food sources, around vaccines, then those should be given in advisory roles.
Why?
Because
what were the qualifications of the previous ones?
Well, I think it's important to always
Management
remember that you put yourself. Say that again.
What were the management qualifications? I mean, Xavier Becerra.
I'm not.
Gotcha, bitch. You people love saying this person's not qualified, and then you run down the list of all the other people that weren't qualified. Now all of a sudden, everybody got to be qualified because you don't like the picker or the person who did the picking. Now everybody got to be qualified, huh? Hell, let's be real. Trump wasn't qualified to be president. Did y'all listen to his Joe Rogan interview? Basically, he said, when I got in there, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I did not know what I was doing. I was Stevie Wonder in the White House.
Talking about the previous. I'm looking forward.
But you're calling into question whether he could actually do this job, and I think it's
absolutely. I think America is now, and I think
it's important to discuss it because Xavier Becerra was just a lawyer and a politician with no management experience.
So does two negatives, two wrongs make a right?
Sylvia Burwell was a Walmart lobbyist. Donna Chalet.
The boy said the two wrongs make a right. When they start giving you childish rebuttals, you know you got them. If I can run off a list of 6 people that really weren't qualified to do this job, and all of a sudden you want to ask why and talk about RFK not being qualified and Scott being on here, I promise you, Scott, from what I've been seeing, he's going to have a bigger life or a bigger career outside of CNN because it ain't where, typically when you watch CNN, it's nothing but a man corner. Yeah, you're right. Go, you're right. Trump is a racist, fascist. Trump is a sexist. Trump do be grabbing them by the pussy. And it be men on there. Yeah, he grabs them by the pussy. And I'm like, me when he said, I'm like, ain't we all grabbed some pussy before? Like, that's how what I thought. Like, hey, it ain't nothing wrong with grabbing some pussy. But then I had to tone it down because I said, okay, this is 2015, 2016. Times are changing. Men want to grab men by the dick, so I get it. I understand. Some of y'all want to take what Dave Chappelle long ganders at the anus. That's what Dave Chappelle said Michael Jackson liked to look. And some of y'all want to be like Michael Jackson so bad. Y'all don't take the
Layla was a university
long ganders at the ass.
person. Look,
RFK Jr. is a nut.
The fact. Okay, so that's different than what you just said. You just said he doesn't possess the requisite managerial experience. But then we get to the real issue here, which is you want to insult the man, which is your right to do because you opposed him in the election. But you, doctor, are raising the issues that he has been raising, and I think they're appropriate questions to raise. I don't know whether he can be confirmed or not. The vaccine stuff at the table is obviously going to be the flashpoint of this hearing. Mm-hmm. But I'll tell you one thing. This whole issue of the CDC and these public health agencies, look, public trust in the health regime in this country.
Hey, I love Mike. I just was just making a joke. I love you. I know Mike is one of my favorite artists, but that's what Dave Chappelle said in the documentary. And I ain't even watched the documentary because I was like, they full of shit when it come to Mike. Mike ain't touched them damn kids, but that's neither here nor there.
Is as low as it's ever been.
But why?
It's because of COVID,
right?
Because of school closures, because of mask mandates, because this country was but let me just finish. Because this country was drugged through a bunch of condescending and heavy-handed mandates that all turned out to be garbage, and that's why it's low. And the questions are valid.
And RFK is the answer to all of that.
Yeah,
but so stupid. He gonna say an RFK is the answer to all that. No, bitch. We talking about the health. But y'all ask why the trust is so low, and that's why my show is talking about America being untrustworthy and why America and Americans is losing trust in our government because our government allow people. And we already know the people that own CNN and all of these Fox News channels, even Fox News, all of them are owned by like 5 corporations that are all working in tandem with like the CIA and the government. So when they get on here and spew even the most boldest lies and not even worry about the ramifications or the repercussions of being sued, that should just let you know what time it is. Excuse me. That should just let you know what time it is and how people really feel about America and how they feel about you. Because if they can lie blatantly to your face and you can go back and see what Trump said. If they say, yeah, Trump keeps saying there was verified people on both sides, and you can go and really watch what he said and just give it 40 seconds later. And he said, I condemn neo-Nazis and white supremacists. But furthermore, if you do real research, the man told us in the 90s, before he even decided to run for president, hey, I ain't fucking with the neo-Nazis or the white supremacists. He told, this is back in the 90s. So what are we even talking about? And like I said, I know the racism, they got to keep the black people down. And you know what's crazy? Joe Biden, Donald Trump, 2020, running for president, and they telling us, you got black people telling us that we racist for voting for Donald Trump, or we a coon, a jigaboo, we be boot scooting and boogieing and all this type of stuff by other black people because we voted for a different white man that they voted for. Think about that. You vote, Joe Biden got on the Breakfast Club, and this needs to always be said. That's how you know Charlemagne the God is paid opposition. That man got on there and told Charlemagne, if you don't know whether or not you want to vote for me, you ain't black. Now, how do you let a white man get on here and question your black card? I just think, and this is, I believe this to be true too. Lee said, just think the land of the free and the home of the brave is the main USA marketing scheme. It definitely is. My homeboy, shout out to the date master. That nigga say, hey, you can't even leave your house without spending no money. America ain't nothing but a business. You leave the house, you're going to spend some money. And it's crazy that it's like that. You get in the car, drive somewhere, you spend some gas. Go to the mall, go to the store. If you might catch a flat tire.